Today we're going to be working on the outside of the camper. I'm going to be prepping it for paint, and fingers crossed, if everything goes well, hopefully the video after this one will be us painting the camper. I'm just so excited to paint this camper, and also I'm very excited for today's video because we have a sponsor which helps out my channel so much, so I'm so grateful for this. And today we're working with Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for creative and curious people. You can explore new skills, develop existing interests, and get lost in creativity. Skillshare offers memberships with meaning. You can connect with the support of fellow creatives and enter a community of encouragement, communication, and inspiration. Whether you're looking to fend off boredom, focus on self-care through creativity, or join a similar creative community, Skillshare is the place to keep you learning. I really wanted to brush up on my video editing skills and try to be better at filming, so I took the class Video Editing: Transforming Footage into Evocative Travel Stories by Oliver Stralajo, and this was such an incredible course. They have everything from post-productions, tips during shooting, choosing the right music, organizing your footage, and all the way down to editing. And it helped me out so much and gave me so many great tips and advice for editing. The first 1,000 people to use the link in my description box will get a free trial of Skillshare Premium membership, and after that, it's only around $10 a month. So now let's go head over to the camper and get it all prepped for paint. There's a lot of work to do on Honey today. I feel like it doesn't look that bad on camera, but up close in person, there are just so many flaws on the outside of the camper. There's just so many things that just really have to get scrubbed so well and scraped. So although it doesn't look that bad right now, in person it's very rough and super overwhelming to see it all. So what I'm starting off with are these fender flares. I know that they are obviously protective and help from rocks kicking up and ruining the paint, but I'm gonna take them off. I've seen the majority of vintage campers, they don't have these on them anymore. So lucky for me, all of the screws were completely rusted, so I just had to pull this off and break it apart, and then basically unscrew, oh my gosh, my voice, sorry, unscrew all of the screws. I've been filming these voiceovers super early lately, so my voice hasn't fully woken up yet, even though my brain is. But yeah, so this is what it looks like, and then I was just trying to pull all of these screws out, so that was really fun. Let me know if you guys recommend me keeping the fender flares on or not. I think it will look a little bit cleaner without them, but we will have to see. The next thing I'm doing is taking the trim out, and again, if you guys recommend me keeping the trim on, I might put it back on, but there was maybe a quarter of the trim actually left on the camper. And also, you guys can tell it was just broken in a lot of spots. I feel like I don't need the trim. I think I just have to see what the camper looks like once it's fully painted and decide if I want the trim on it or not. One of the things that makes this camper look really old and kind of grimy is the sealer. The way that they did it, they kind of just did it super messy, so it's bubbling out in some spots. So I'm just taking a flat edge and just taking this off. We're obviously going to reseal the camper either right before we paint it or right after we paint it, just to make sure that there's not going to be any leaks. I swear this part of the camper was the death of me. It is so hard. Anyone I've talked to so far that has redone a camper, they say trying to get the decals off is the worst part. So I tried a method before this, which was I took Goo Gone. It's specifically for car decals. I sprayed it on, soaked it on, and it would not give. The issue with these stickers is because the campers from the 70s, they're basically dry rotted, where a newer camper, if you were to use Goo Gone or a heat gun, it would come right off because the sticker still has the adhesive, if that kind of makes sense. These stickers are just so dry that it doesn't come off with a heat gun or Goo Gone. So I just had to scrape and sand basically until they were all gone. So this was definitely very rough. And then taking the window stickers off is a lot easier. These ones weren't as bad because it's on a flat surface where the camper is super bumpy. So I did just use the Goo Gone, and then I took a scraper to get those off. And the same with these stickers on the inside. Another exciting thing that we did was take the awning off. I had no idea it was this easy, so I had called Connor over to the camper. I thought I had to unbolt everything, but he just slid the awning out, so that was amazing. It looks so much better without the awning. We may replace it. I'm not really sure yet. I have to kind of check out some websites and see if I can find anything that looks good. So I'm just taking all of this tape off. If you guys missed the last camper video, I tested out a bunch of paint colors for it. So if you want to help me figure out what color to paint the camper, go check out that video and leave your request down below. So next we are jacking up the camper. Well, Connor is, because I'm not good with this kind of stuff. And we are replacing the tires. So this was very exciting. I don't think I told you guys this, but when we pulled the camper in right after we bought it, as soon as we parked it, the tire just immediately went flat. So it was such perfect timing that we got this thing home. The tires are obviously super old, so we just wanted to get new ones. I got some new ones on Amazon. I can link those down below for you guys. We are on day number 2 of the camper prep. So I bought a scraper because the one that I had broke. We're gonna use this and try to get the rest of all of the decals off. It's super sunny, sorry. So that's what I'm gonna work on now. And then after that, I'm going to probably sand a little bit more of the camper and then give it a wash. It's amazing what having the correct tool actually does. That was so much easier. I just wanted to stop for a second and show you guys how bad the before and after is. Are you ready for this? Here's the before. This is the after. What a huge difference. I honestly did not even realize how bad the camper was because I was just so used to seeing it like this. But it made such a huge difference just by washing it lightly. I'm just like so excited to see how it looks once we get it painted. But also here's an update on the stickers. I got them all off and I'm just gonna finish washing the camper. We have most of the sides washed. It's just pretty much this side that's left, which is a very, very dirty side. We're finally at the last step, which is washing the camper. This is so important, and I know you're going to be tired by the end of it and you're not going to want to wash it well, but you definitely need to because this will determine how your paint looks. And trust me, by the end of this, I was just like so over it, but I had to keep going. So I just can't stress enough, if you guys are watching this for educational purposes for your camper, just make sure that you really scrub it well and you just get out any of the imperfections. If there's dirt speckled on it, you want to get all of this up because if you don't, your paint will most likely chip off. So I know it's a big surface to clean, so you could even do this in like a couple days, like give it a rough clean one day, the next day like go in a little bit better. But hopefully also your camper isn't quite as dirty as mine has been. It's kind of just been sitting here for months and we've had crazy storms, so a lot of dirt has hit this thing. But we just use like a basic car cleaner. It's like some sort of like citrus car cleaner. And the other thing is to make sure you clean really well where you had your decals, because if you use something like Goo Gone, it's very slick, so paint won't stick to it. So make sure you hit it with the soap and water a few times and just make sure that it doesn't feel slick. And if it does, you can always go over it with some alcohol. So I will be repainting the hitch, and I also got a new bumper so we don't even have to worry about that. But to prep the hitch, I just took a wire brush and I'm just getting any of the loose rust off of it because it doesn't need to be perfect. You could, if your hitch is really bad, you could obviously just resand it and go crazy with it, but it doesn't bother me that much, so I'm probably just going to leave it like this and then just repaint it. Currently eating a Reese's, but we just got done with the camper. It looks so much better. So let's go cut to some footage of what it looks like now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope it was helpful to those of you who are going to be prepping your camper for paint. Next week we will definitely be painting it. We're actually going to be painting it today, so you guys will see how that looks next week. But I hope you guys are staying safe and healthy, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye!